This conference will now be recorded.
All right, Tally, you're in charge.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Well, since I don't have the agenda handy, can I appoint somebody else to be in charge this meeting?
Yeah, I can kind of help out here. So let's see, we've done our call to order. I don't know if you want to do introductions. I think we all
We're good there. There's no public here, so we can skip that. And jump right into review of draft 3 Northeast Community Plan. Is that where we're at?
I think so.
Good.
Cheryl, has there been any other meetings that you've attended since the last meeting?
Yeah, the Planning Commission and the countywide CAC met in November on the 23rd. That was one of those marathon meetings. We started at 9 a.m. and went to 5 p.m. And we covered goal 6, which is air, water, and land. Goal 8, which is recreational needs, and goal 13, which is energy conservation issues. So we're moving right along. We did have a request from Nadia, who is active on that one and is the chair of the Planning Commission, that we have meetings that are not quite so many hours long. It's hard on our brains, especially mine and old brain. And that if we could do fewer goals in one chunk and for fewer hours in one chunk. And then she asked if we could also have support from the county commissioners that would extend our timeline a bit, but so that we wouldn't have to have so many long meetings. And that's it from me for now.
Well, speaking of timeline, Gail, do you want to give the timeline breakdown again of?
Well, yes. Let me talk about where we're at and where we're going. So obviously this is our last meeting tonight, and from here, I lost my train of thought. So what will happen next is that the community plans are going to be going to a work session with the board in February. And let's see, the Northeast plan is going to be going on February 2nd. And it's just an initial review. There's no vote or anything like that, but just to give the board a preliminary look. And then that will be scheduled to go to the Planning Commission at their meeting on March 8th. And the Planning Commission at that time will make a formal recommendation back to the board.
Do you foresee, like, if they would there be any case where they would potentially like have questions for us or whatnot, or are they just kind of taking what it is, working with that? Like, I just want to know if we need to be like aware or available to like answer any questions between those 2 times or something.
Yeah, that's a good question. So the board typically doesn't have any public input or anything at their work session. The Planning Commission may, and
Okay.
I don't know if you all want to come for that, or if you want to appoint someone to kind of be your representative or spokesperson, or staff can do the best that we can to answer the questions as well, because we'll be there.
What date was that?
March 8th is the Planning Commission, and that's a 10 o'clock in the morning meeting. And then once the Planning Commission makes their formal recommendation, then we're going to be doing some public input, and we have not scheduled dates or locations for that. We've been trying to get some feedback from the board and in their districts if they have any preferences about how they would prefer to handle it. But that will happen sometime probably in the early to mid-spring. And then the board will be voting hopefully on everything in July. There will be 2 public hearings in July on the 13th and the 27th of July right now. That's when they're scheduled. And then as far as the rest of the comp plan update is going to go, that will continue through about April, May with those joint meetings. And then same process, there'll be a little bit of a break, have some public input events, and then take that to the board as well for 2 hearings in July.
Gail, the county commissioner on February 2nd, when they're looking at the Northeast plan, will ours be the only one that they'll be looking at, or will they be looking at all of them?
Yeah, they're going to handle them in 2 work sessions, so there'll be 3 in each work session. So on the 2nd, we're going to have Southwest, Clatsop Plains, and Northeast. And then on February 16th will be Lewis and Clark, Elsie Jewell, and Seaside Rural.
And then what about the Planning Commission on March 8th? Same thing. Will Northeast be the only one, or will it be all of them?
No, we've got them scheduled all for one Planning Commission meeting. We may adjust that a bit, but right now they're all scheduled for the same meeting.
Okay. And Gail, another question I have been wondering. So what is the fate of the Northeast CAC going forward? Are we defunct? Are we mothballed until somebody calls up and says they need us? What is our fate?
Yeah, so according to the bylaws, once the work of the comp plan update is done, the committees are dissolved. That was the way they were set up. They're ad hoc committees and not permanent standing committees. So as of the end of our meeting today, I would consider you more or less not defunct, but free to roam about the country. It may be that there are something comes up where we do have to call you back. You know, if for some reason we get to a point where the board just says no, there are just too many changes, we need to go back and do some fixes. You know, then we would call you back up. But otherwise, I think yeah, you're free after this evening.
And I have to tell you guys, my electricity has blinked twice in the last few minutes, so I hope I don't lose you.
Okay. Yeah, so I know we're going to look at the plan and everything, but just in case we lose Cheryl, I do just want to say that it really has been a pleasure working with you. I know that I get cranky at times, but like I put in my email to Dirk today, the Northeast, you all have been the steadiest, most consistent committee to work with. I mean, you're always here, you're always prepared. You know, Cheryl's always got her questions and bang, 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 and you're very efficient. And I've actually learned a lot working with this group. So and thank yous, because I know it's been a difficult and long process. And like we talked about before we started the meeting, that, you know, we've had a lot of plot twists and turns and things as we moved through this. So, you know, being adaptable and flexible is just been wonderful. So thank you all.
Thank you too, because you've done a lot of extra work when we've asked to like basically help us write all these things. And I know it's not easy, and I really appreciate how much you've also done. I don't know if we could have done it without you, to be honest.
And I have words that I want to say too, and I will do those at the closing. So we'll just cross our fingers that my electricity stays on way out here. Tally, to help us move forward, we sort of have 2 parts. So we have the narration, and then we have the guidelines. And I'll just tell you where I'm at, and then you say how you want to proceed. As far as the policies, I only have 1 change in all of that to discuss. So there's only 1. In the narration, I have a couple of little questions. I have a couple of little edits, and I have a couple of comments. So however you want to proceed.
Well, I'd say just let's dive into your edits and then we'll get to the comments.
Okay, mine are in chronological order, and Gail, I love that we have red numbering on the bottoms of the pages that goes from front to back. It's nice that by the end, when we're doing this, that we like have all the wrinkles ironed out. So Tally and Kelly, if it's okay with you, I can just go through the narration in numerical order, because my questions are in there and my little edits are in there. So does that work for you guys?
Perfect.
Okay. I am on the okay. Red page 24. There is a section at the top that was omitted, starting with Big Creek is an example of a stream bed that could possibly run dry in August. And I was wondering why that got omitted. I think it is important information, and I think it directly folds into climate change.
I'm assuming it's because there's like specific measurements that are probably old, but we could maybe keep something about it running dry, like put that into one of the other, fit it in more as like a general statement. But because there's all the like, you know, that's I don't know.
Gail, do you have any memory of why that's slated to be taken out?
Yeah, sorry, I'm flipping through things here. I took it out because we did put new stream flows in that did talk about availability of water and expected stream flow. We can put that back in.
What if we just keep that first sentence about potential of it running dry and just add it to that the paragraph before, at the end of that paragraph?
Okay, so right before the table starts.
I like that one, Kelly.
It's sad to think of Big Creek running dry.
Yeah, but I think that's part of what we want, why we want to be climate resilient so that we don't get caught down. Okay, thank you. Let me see what's next in here. On the red sheets on page 32, and that one is just a comment. This is a huge edit, and it has to do with Big Creek Hatchery and Nat Creek Hatchery. And I just wanted to say, well done to whoever did all of the edits there, Gail. So I asked for information to be put in about those. Then I edited some out, and I like where we ended. And it's a major contribution, and I think it is significant for our Northeast area. So that's just an attaboy.
Thank you, and thank you for the assistance on that.
Red page 33, a teeny tiny edit. Second paragraph down, headwater areas, third line down, to promote and maintain healthy fish habitat is imperative.
Yeah, you had that one. I missed that one. Sorry
That's okay.
about that.
Kelly's laughing at me. It's a tiny one, and if we were tight for time, I would have mailed it into her, but we're here.
No,
so
yeah, it's just, I get it. Thank you.
Red page 37. Also an edit. Third line up from the bottom, with the Burnside system, given them future. The system has connected with Burnside system, which will give them future potential.
Or given the future potential.
Good, yeah. The given is wrong, so whatever is correct in there. Page 39 in the red ones. This is also just a comment. I had asked that information be added about the schools, and that the Napa school system had recently passed a big bond issue, and that got put in there. The facts are good, the narration is good. So that was an attaboy. Thank you. that is the end of my comments on the narration. Tally and Kelly, if neither of you have anything about the narration, I have one suggested change on the policies, and that'll be it for me.
Yeah, it looks good to me. I had emailed mine before, and it was, yep, everything was fine.
Yeah, go for it. Cheryl, what are your notes on policies?
On page 55 in the red, and so it'll actually be 55 and 56. And policy 1 and policy 2 are basically a repeat of each other. My scribbled notes in the margin say that we should omit policy 1 and keep policy 2.
Cheryl, this is for the public facilities policies.
Ooh, the light in here is so bad.
It's groundwater.
In partnership with private landowners.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you said delete 1 and keep 2?
Yeah, that was my suggestion.
Okay.
But Gail, you read them and see if that makes sense to you.
That looks good to me too, because the second one had a couple more added words and whatnot.
Yeah.
I have no further changes.
Okay. Well, Gail, is there anything else we need to go over in this meeting?
Yeah, so what would be good is if you want to get a motion and a second to approve the plan as we've amended it this evening, and then I'll send this out to you probably tomorrow. We've seen all the changes, but I'll send it out officially tomorrow as draft number 4. And then that's it.
Okay. Well, I motion that we accept the document as amended this evening.
Second to the motion.
Okay. We vote on the motion. Aye.
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 Okay. And the motion is successful.
All right, thank you.
Do we want to talk about if we want anyone to go to the Planning Commission meeting? Or
I'll try to go as long as I'm available. I mean, I think it's many of us that can make it that want to go. At least I want at least someone to go. So maybe we can, hey, Ollie, we can email like right before and just make sure at least one of us is going or something.
yeah, I put it on my calendar, so yeah, we'll see how things are going then, but hopefully I'll be able to make it.
Yeah, I will go for sure, but I agree with Kelly that as many of you as can come, to be there to, in case any questions come up. It's a nice group. It's a very interactive group. And so for you to be there, I would encourage as many of you as possible to come if possible.
Yeah, and staff will be posting the draft that you just approved tonight. And so if you can also, I'll send you a link to that, but if you can also help spread the word that this is out there and get people looking at it as well. So that would be really helpful.
Okay, well, still no public. Does anyone have any other comments they want to make? Cheryl, I think you said you wanted to make a comment.
I just want to say that I have enjoyed working with all of you, and I'm really sorry that Jen's not here because I thought Jen did a really nice job of chairing us. So kudos to her. It was very interesting for me to have been part of the committee that wrote this original one 100 years ago. And then for me now to get to work with young people and new people to our community and to be able to update this. And the process was much different than I thought it would be. It was much longer than I thought it would be. But I'm still very glad to have participated in that process. And I also want to say that I'm really proud of the work that we did. I'm really proud of this document. I think that there's a lot of really good stuff in there, and I'm very proud of the work that we did. We were, I think, one of the few CACs who had 5 people from the beginning and carried through. In the 2 years that we worked on this, I only remember one time when we did not have a quorum and couldn't meet. The majority of the time, there's 4 or 5 of us here to do this work. And, you know, again, I'm really proud of that. I'm also proud of who's represented on our group. I oftentimes say that the Northeast is an agricultural section. And so I think it's excellent that 2 of the 5 people on our group are farmers and at opposite ends of the scale. People who are new to the county and people who are second generation, people who are small farmers and people who are large farmers. So I really like the representation on our committee. So it's been hard work and it was very different than I thought. I continue to regret that we are not going through each of the 19 goals as we started, because I think we were doing good work there that I think fed into the countywide CAC and would have continued to enrich the work that they're doing. But it went in a new way, and that's okay. I enjoyed working with all of you, and I'm very proud of the document that we produced.
Does anyone else have any comments they'd like to make before we close? Yeah, I would love to thank Gail for all of her hard work on this project. I think you've done amazing, and I've learned a lot from you. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure being part of the group. So, and thanks Cheryl for always being able to steer the ship the right direction. Really amazed by everything that folks have put into this project. So hoping it, ends up where we want it to. Okay. Well, no other comments. Then I guess we are ready to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
All right. Thank you, everyone.